Lara Logan, remember her? She used to be on CBS. She was a foreign correspondent until she made up a whole bunch of lying bullshit about the Benghazi attack. She also used to be a regular with special reports on 60 Minutes, the CBS program. She was a rising star on CBS, but Lara Logan lost her fucking mind. I don't know what happened to her, except she became a Christian fascist. She is now one of those people who would cluster around Donald Trump, does cluster around Donald Trump and the Nazis that are trying to destroy America. She went to work for Fox after CBS fired her ass for lying, for making shit up. So she went to her natural home, Fox. If you're going to be a lying son of a bitch and still insist that you're a journalist, you go to Fox. She was a Fox personality, or she is a Fox personality, and has a program on its streaming service. Well, the other day, she was condemned by prominent Jewish groups and the Auschwitz Museum after she compared Dr. Anthony Fauci to Joseph Mengele, the Nazi doctor who became known as the Angel of Death because of the atrocities that he committed against captured, imprisoned, enslaved Jews, among others, mostly Jews. And this bitch, this Q bitch, another one, Lara Logan, compares Anthony Fauci to Joseph Mengele. I'm telling you, it is so close. She was on Fox News Primetime yesterday. And in that appearance, this Q bitch said that people have told her that Fauci doesn't represent science, but represents Joseph Mengele. And Logan, this lying bitch, just like when she worked at CBS, she said, quote, "I am talking about people all across the world are saying this," end quote, with no evidence, not a goddamn iota to back up her fucking lies. What happens to these people? What happens to them? So CNN got a hold of Fox, or tried to, for a comment. No response. But there was response. The Auschwitz Museum tweeted out this, quote, "Exploiting the tragedy of people who became victims of criminal pseudo-medical experiments in Auschwitz. In a debate about vaccines, pandemic, and people who fight for saving human lives is shameful. It is disrespectful to victims and a sad symptom of moral and intellectual decline." I would disagree. It's a symptom of moral and intellectual annihilation, collapse, not decline. But between Tucker Carlson and Lara Logan and Sean Hannity and the rest of these pigs, these swine, these Nazis, they are using the Fox sewer in the most insidious way, getting inside people's heads with this shit. Jonathan Greenblatt, head of the ADL, said in a statement, quote, "There's absolutely no comparison between mask mandates, vaccine requirements, and other COVID-19 mitigation efforts to what happened to Jews during the Holocaust," end quote. Well, no kidding. He added, quote, "This includes making outlandish and offensive analogies suggesting that somehow Dr. Anthony Fauci is akin to Nazi war criminal Joseph Mengele, known for his gruesome medical experiments on concentration camp prisoners," end quote. And the American Jewish Committee called the comments, quote, "utterly shameful," and said, quote, "an apology is needed." The American Jewish Committee statement went on to say, quote, "Joseph Mengele earned his nickname, the Angel of Death, by performing deadly and inhumane medical experiments on prisoners of the Holocaust, including children. There is no comparing the hell these victims went through. to public health measures, end quote. Well, so Lara Logan, who is the newest Nazi convert, here she is again. Or here's another one of these disgusting son of a bitches. Here she is again. She left CBS News about 3 years ago and joined Fox last year. And what I have here says that she told the LA Times when she joined Fox that she wasn't, quote, trying to be an opinion person, end quote, but has become one of the Fox sewers' most conspiratorial talking heads. What happens to these people? Entering Fox is like entering through the gates of hell, the Christian hell. That's exactly what it's like. I wonder if Lara Logan has read any translation of Il Inferno, part of the Divine Comedy. You should, Lara. Read it. Read it. And you will find people of your ilk and what they are experiencing in the Christian hell as envisioned by Dante. Read it. Sure. Of course. I mean, there's just no end to this, is there? Just no end to it. There's a piece of the Washington Post written by Philip Bump, who was a national correspondent, an opinion piece, regarding what I just shared with you. And the title of it is When Once Respected Journalists Move to the Fringe. And it's about Lara Logan's just insane Q-bitch statements. I mean, and another, let me display my sexism here. I cannot believe how many women, the creators in this sad universe we live in, how many of them have switched forces and have switched sides and become destroyers. Women in politics, women in media. I know it's your question. Well, what do you expect, Malloy? Well, you have your sexist attitude about women as creators, men as destroyers. Okay, I'll take that. I will. But when I look at the number of women who are willing to vote for someone who even has the hint of the stench of Trump about him, as they did in the governor's race in Virginia last month, it just freaks my ass out. What the fuck has happened? How can women say that Fauci, how can a woman say that Fauci's attitudes about trying to save our lives is comparable to Joseph Mengele's? How the fuck does that happen? Where does a complete breakdown occur inside someone like Lara Logan's mind that would produce that kind of a report or a statement or anything? How does that happen? How does that happen? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.